Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on when and where you're listening to this. You can now hear me. It is not a time without a mic. Yes. Good morning. It is oh my goodness, it is the 10th. I had to look over at the calendar over here. It's the 10th of March. Oh my goodness. We are here and really getting rolling. We're almost on the first quarter of the year. Amazing. I hope it's going well for you. I hope it's going fantastic for you. It's been going interesting for me. I love the word interesting. I don't want to say fantastic. There's been a lot going on. I think I've talked about this in the past. A lot going on with health issues in the family, not me necessarily. Although the past week, it's been a little bit of me, a bad head cold and a few other things. But hey, hey, it's a beautiful day here in Tampa. It's in the 70s right now, and the sun is shining, and it's beautiful. I just love being alive. It's a beautiful day to be alive. Fantastic. You know what happened today? On this day, in 1997, it was an earmark. Buffy the Vampire Slayer actually had its debut. I wasn't a big fan. I didn't watch a lot of it, but a lot of people talked about it. It was phenomenal for a lot of people. So it was a big time. This is like kind of the only positive thing I saw in the history of today. I didn't want to talk about wars. I didn't want to talk about anything else. We got too much of that going on right now today, currently anyway. So we're talking about a teenage vampire slayer, which is kind of a cool thing, I guess. So today, National Day. Let's see. My National Day calendar is also to the side of me. It is National Pack Your Lunch Day. Even if you're staying home, even if you're not going out, like I am, I'm not going out today. I work out of the home office a good deal of my days. And so I might pack a lunch and bring it in my office because it's National Pack a Lunch Day. Why not? It's also National Blueberry Popover Day. It sounds good. I haven't had a popover in years. And maybe I'll go out and find popovers or a place that serves popovers. But will I find a place that serves blueberry popovers? I'm not sure I will. Haven't seen those in years. And it's also National Mario Day. If you ever played Mario game, jumping up and down and all sorts of things. It's maybe I'll just call this National Old Video Game Day for Mario Brothers. National Mario Day. Hmm. It is also Coffee with Kevin. By the way, I forgot to mention that. This is my coffee. This is my coffee. This is Kevin. I'm Kevin Martin, a hypnotherapist. I am a mindset coach. I'm an author, a speaker, a trainer, all that good stuff. But most of all, I'm a coffee drinker. Mm. Here's to you. I hope you have your coffee with you or your hot tea or any kind of drink that you may indulge with in the mornings. To you. So, so what are we talking about today? We're talking about the power of small decisions. Yes, the power of small decisions. A lot of times we think, okay, the big decisions are going to be the ones, right? I'm getting a new job. I'm buying a house. I'm making an investment. Um, Going on a trip across the country. Big decisions and big decisions can have an impact on our life and sometimes a very big impact on our lives, but so can small decisions. So can small decisions. Deciding to go out for a walk. Deciding to go out for a walk can be a great decision. It can be the healthy thing to get you to breathe, to get you to exercise. It could be the start of a lot of walks. It could be the fact that you're going to go out and meet people and greet people that you wouldn't have seen if you stayed in the house. You know, Um, skipping the walk. Skipping the walk is another small decision. And that might not be a great decision because you'd miss the things you were going to get. And it'll make it even harder for you to go to the next walk on the next day. So small decisions have that. Choosing a healthier meal, choosing a convenience instead. Convenience are these little snacks we have all over the house or all over the stores. Um, small decisions, but can be life changing. Can be life changing. All right, for your business, making one more call, that extra call. When I was doing calls, sometimes, I'd make that extra call, or I'd actually want to make a call to someone specific, and I'd have this thing in my mind say, they're really not the kind that's going to want to do business with me, or they don't care about that kind of service or product. I kind of make those up in my mind, those decisions up in my mind. But I found many of the time when I actually made that extra call, when I actually went to that person I thought wouldn't want, actually turned out to be a good thing that I did. Small decisions. Small decisions actually make a difference. Following up when others stop. Following up when others stop. Yes. Yes, I'm working with somebody now, and she keeps on delaying, and I reach out again, and she said, "Oh yeah, I am really still interested. I just got some stuff going on. Had I not reached out again, she might have just forgotten about everything." So these small decisions are important. They're incredibly important in our life. Good morning, Monia. Uh, I am having a wonderful day, and I'm intending to continue making it a wonderful day, and I hope you are the same, Monia. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna put down my glasses. I can read a little bit more. Mindset changes through small decisions too, right? Choosing gratitude instead of a complaint. How many of you are in the, you're in the middle of doing something, and something goes wrong. Something goes wrong. You decide, I'm gonna complain about it. I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of that. But I also have had times when I said, I'm grateful to actually be able to do this. I'm grateful to be able to have this chance to change whatever I'm working on. Choosing a curiosity instead of a frustration, right? We get frustrated by so many things, don't we? How about being curious by so many things? Curiosity really is a great start. I took a course on this by the woman who actually had so much passion on curiosity. And at the time I said, I know a lot of the stuff about psychology. I know a lot of the stuff about, how the human mind works. And I'm not so convinced that this is the thing. And then later on, I realized, curiosity is really powerful. Lawanda, Lawanda, what a good morning. Good morning to you too. I know this curiosity is really powerful. And I look back on the course and I was grateful I had the chance, the opportunity to actually be in that course and talk to that presenter. Choosing persistence instead of quitting, the most common thing for us, right? The most common thing is to want to quit because it gets too hard. We've been working too long. Want to quit. And it is, persistence is a last week or the week before we did a whole thing on persistence, right? How persistence is so great. Heard this one story, a big famous radio broadcaster back in the 50s and 60s. He was saying he had a day where he had to work on all these scripts, and he had to get it done. And after several hours, he was just so tired, and he thought himself. He said, I need to persist. I need to persist. And he jumped back into it. And it was another 4 hours later when he had finished everything and was full of energy. that persistence does something to us. Think of persistence in the long run, not just in a day, but in the long run. We get full of energy after we've finally completed what because we get the energy of seeing it completed, of being there and knowing that we can do it again and again and again. So sometimes choosing quitting will not allow us to have that. Matter of fact, as I said before, the choice you make sometimes makes it easier to make the same choice the next time. And it makes it even easier, the same choice the next time. I'd rather make the choice, the good choice, the choice to be persistent, the choice to be curious, the choice to take that walk, the choice to do the thing that's a little more difficult, but good for me, because that makes it easier and easier and easier. So that's what it is about small decisions. They can really have an incredible impact. And all it is one little action sometimes to just start it off. All it is one little action. Success is the sum of small efforts, repeated day in and day out. Robert Collier said that. Repeated day in and day out. That's making those small decisions day in and day out. Let's see what other, uh, what other quotes we have today besides the one I just told you. Okay. Great things are not done by impulse, but by a series of small things brought together. Those small things are small decisions. When we make an impulse, it's usually the easier decision, and the easier decision often is not the better decision. Those are really easy to make. I'm going to not go out. I'm just going to lay down. I'm not going to finish my work today. I'm not going to make these calls. Believe me, as I'm saying this, I'm seeing it in myself. I've done that. I've been there, but I've also been there when I made the right decisions and it got so much out of it. Little strokes fell great oaks. Benjamin Franklin. I love quoting Benjamin Franklin. You know, these little strokes, these little tiny decisions can make big, big differences over time. We are what we repeatedly do. William Durant was summarizing Aristotle. And and think of it either way, whether making the good decisions, the little decisions over and over and over again that are good for us, that's who we become. That's who we are. But the other way, whether we're making the easy decisions constantly, which often are not good for us, often don't do anything good for us, just make it easier for us. That is who we become, the person that takes the easy way out. I don't know about you, but I'd like rather make those small decisions in my life that are a little harder and be known for the person that attacks and challenges things. All right. Small disciplines repeated with consistency every day lead to great achievements. Small decisions repeated with consistency every day lead to great achievements. I'm going to go back to this live stream. You know, some people consider it a podcast. It's not really, but I started it 6 years ago. Over 6 years ago. And I said, okay, I need some consistency in my social media and what I'm doing. And this is going out to social media, or if you're on Facebook, you're listening to this. If you're on LinkedIn, you're listening to this. Or if you're listening to this, you're in either one of those, or on YouTube, or on Treble. But anyway, I made that decision consistent. And so I did it several weeks in a row. Tuesday mornings, 9 o'clock. Right? Not that difficult for me. I'm usually up and wide awake, 9 o'clock. But this preparation and everything. So after several weeks of doing it week in and week out, I started to say, do I really need to do this? Do I really need to do this? Sometimes I got other things, or sometimes I'm not feeling good. Do I really need to do this? And I say, yeah, I really need to do this. I really need to stay consistent. Here we are 6 years later. Here we are 6 years later. This is phenomenal. Now, I don't get a lot of live comments, but if you're out there listening to this live, please comment, please like, please share with other people. Share on your own feed. I appreciate that. Now, I don't get a lot of live comments, but I get a lot of people that I haven't even seen or known that they were listening to me that come to me and say, yeah, coffee. You're the Coffee with Kevin guy. So I know I get out there. I know it's out there and making a difference, hopefully, in a lot of people's lives. But I've actually heard that it makes a difference in several people's lives that have come to me. Said they needed to hear what they heard that morning. So I'll tell you what my decision was this morning. I woke up not feeling good. I'm getting over this head cold. I didn't have enough of the vitamin C. I didn't have vitamin C, which is what I attack head colds and flu with right away. I didn't have it in the house for several days. So I lived with this and it grew stronger and stronger. And I wasn't feeling good this morning. And I said, yeah, I got to do this. It's 9 o'clock Tuesday. I need to be consistent. I made that decision that I was going to do whatever. And as I started preparing for this, I started feeling better. You can't tell that I'm not feeling really well. So I made that little decision to say yes. And all of a sudden, I started feeling better. Had I made a decision, I'm going to just pass on it. Maybe I'll write a little social media note saying, hey, we're not going to have it today, and then go lay down. I would be lying down right now, still not feeling really well. Little decisions can make a big difference in your life. Make those little decisions. Lou, good morning. Thank you very much. Thank you. I think it is great stuff. I think it is great stuff. And I am one of the decisions I do make is to have gratitude over over frustration or complaint. And I am very grateful. I'm very grateful this morning to have my friends on here, my relatives on here, and to get this message. I'm grateful for you that you're in my life to begin with. Gratitude is a whole thing. I'll be doing another show on gratitude and probably the next month. And it's one of my favorite subjects because it is so powerful. It is such a powerful thing. So I want you to go through this week and be conscious of your little decisions that you're making. Don't go for the easy convenience decision, by the way. Be conscious of it and make the better small decision. Small ones, not the big ones. Like, what am I going to do as soon as I finish this? What am I going to get up and do? And you're going to find you're going to make yourself a miraculous week, a wonderful week. You're going to feel so good. And I'm going to wish you this fantastic, miraculous week. But I also want you to know it's not because I'm wishing you that, it's because it's in your power to make it for yourself. Take care, all. Take care and have a great, fantastic, miraculous week.